Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders, apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, that preach this word truthfully, faithfully, strongly, and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching this word truthfully, faithfully, strongly, and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, that scattered through the four corners of the globe, that be like unto the speckled bird, preaching this word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to y'all. And the title of this lesson is going to be Uproars of the People. This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 9, verse 3, and it reads through the Holy Scriptures. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, right? Because, we're seeing these earthquakes, these storms, like I mentioned before in my previous video. You're going to continue to see these things in the last days. You're going to continue to see uproars of the people. Now it's starting to get heavy now because, you're starting to see people going against their governments. They disregard their kings or princes, for these deadline mandates of the, having a mask on, and for the people that increasing cases versus the people that already took it, and then the ones that didn't take it. So you're gonna have cause division and uproars of that. You're gonna have these citizens going against their politicians because they don't want their children to have the mask on and stuff like that, versus the people that that took it and the ones that didn't take it. So gonna start to continue uproars of that. You're gonna see clash wars, all different types of wars, food shortages, economic, isolation situations. It's gonna many different things on the planet Earth, and these are all examples of Earth uproars of the people. Especially you're gonna start to see more heavily increased protests all over the world, so they're going against their government, with this mandate stuff and these restrictions of being on lockdown. Because I seen a news article, I believe it's about 2 days ago, about Sydney, Australia, being locked down for extending lockdown for the 6th consecutive time so far, I believe. And one of the Australian officials had that because due to the restrictions of the cases are starting to go up, and they said what was that again? I believe they had mentioned you can only be outside for 1 hour, a group of family members together, like 2 or 3 or 4 people. For a limited, people can only go outside for 1 hour, get essential things that they need to get to the store and then come right back to the house. So that's why these citizens are going against these governments and the officials of them. They feel like their freedom is at stake. So that's why you're gonna have these continual uproars of the people. And best believe it's gonna start to heavily increase in these last days. And I'm gonna bring it out again for edification's sake. This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 9, verse 3, through the Holy Scriptures, and it reads. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the earth, right? Because you're going to continue to see earthquakes throughout the whole planet Earth, You're going to start seeing that at a large scale, They're going to start getting strong and heavily increase. And you're going to start seeing, it's a lot here about that. But yeah, you're gonna start to see more continuing uproars of the people. So they can be going against their governments, their kings, their princes, like it says in the scripture. I'll roughly paraphrase. And you're gonna see all these heavy protests around the world. You're gonna start seeing that more in Babylon as well too. But as of right now, you're starting to see that heavily increase around the world. Places like France, Germany, in these Italy, or you might see all these different things of different situations, around the world with these protests around the world. Just like I believe the EU, they had like a restriction from traveling from Israel and to the United States. So they doing traveling ban restrictions on that. They starting to bring that back as well too. So expected to see these more increased uproars and protests of the people as they continue to go on against their government and their officials of those countries and states. I believe, because the citizens believe that they're fighting for their rights, they fighting for their freedom, and they feel like their freedom is at stake. They feel like they don't want to stay in the house, they don't want to have that covering over their face. They feel like their freedom is at stake, and they feel like their rights as citizens is being taken. That's why you continue to see heavily increased uproars of the people around the whole world, in these last days. So, but other than that, I ain't just want to, do this lesson too long. So, I just wanted to do a little sit down lesson about, being continuing real increase uproars of the peoples with these heavily protests around the world and stuff like that, and expected to see a large increase in that in these last days. So with that, I'd like to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makakadash. Double honors to the elders, apostles of Great Millstone, preaching His word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching His word truthfully, faithfully, strongly, and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, that be like unto the speckled bird, preaching His word truthfully, faithfully, strongly, and sincerely. Until next time, I will say shalom.